There are places on Earth that look like they were never meant to be found. Places so strange, so perfectly unreal, they blur the line between science and story. Landscapes so strange they seem impossible. Structures so perfect they raise more questions than answers. From deserts that burn with memory to waterfalls that glow like portals, the Earth holds mysteries far beyond the ordinary. They are the planet's secrets, hidden in plain sight. This isn't just a tour of stunning places. It's a search for the untold, the unexplained, the unforgettable. You may have seen the world, but not like this. What shaped these wonders? Nature? Time? Or something we still don't understand? Welcome to the edge of Earth's imagination, where reality feels like myth, and myth feels real. Seljalandsfoss, Iceland. This isn't just a waterfall, it's a curtain between worlds. Seljalandsfoss plunges 60 meters off the cliffs of Eithjafjall, making it one of Iceland's tallest and most iconic waterfalls. Did you know? Seljalandsfoss is one of the few waterfalls in the world you can walk behind, without getting completely soaked. Step into the misty cave carved into volcanic rock, and watch the world blur through a veil of water and light. The landscape is surrounded by rich green meadows and mossy cliffs, especially vibrant during summer, like a living painting in motion. Geographically, this region is shaped by the meeting of glaciers and lava, where fire and ice collide to sculpt the land. In winter, the fall partly freezes, creating icy curtains that sparkle in the pale northern sun. Scientists think the cave behind the waterfall may have once been a lava tube, formed by volcanic heat. Come at sunset, when golden light filters through the spray. And it doesn't feel like Earth anymore. It feels like stepping through a portal into a forgotten world. Zion National Park, USA. Here, stone rises like fire turned to rock, towering cliffs painted in shades of crimson, gold, and cream. Carved by the restless flow of the Virgin River, Zion is a masterpiece sculpted over 240 million years, where desert, forest, and canyon converge in a living tapestry. To scientists, it is a geological wonder, Navagio sandstone shaped by ancient seas, winds, and floods. But to the southern Paiute people, it was Vinicunca, a sacred sanctuary where powerful spirits dwelled among the cliffs and rivers. Step into its narrows, and the canyon walls close in like cathedral pillars, whispering of both creation and eternity. The air feels charged, as if the land itself remembers every story, every prayer, every echo carried on the wind. Zion is more than a park. It is a threshold between earth and sky, past and present, human and divine. Abraham Lake, Canada. In winter, Abraham Lake transforms into a surreal, icy wonder. Beneath its frozen surface, methane gas from decaying plants and organic material gets trapped in layers, forming shimmering white bubbles that resemble frozen pearls or ghostly jellyfish. These bubbles sometimes stack in tall columns, creating an alien-like landscape right beneath your feet. If exposed to a flame, the methane ignites in a brief but dramatic blue burst. Visit in January, when the ice is clearest. You'll see each trapped bubble like a fossil of breath. It's not just ice. It's time, paused. Mount Bromo, Indonesia. At dawn, clouds break over Java, and Mount Bromo exhales. Smoke rises from its crater like incense from a shrine. To the Tenggerese people, this volcano is alive, a god they still honor with offerings during the Yadnya Kasada festival. But here's what few know. Bromo sits inside the massive Tengger caldera, a collapsed supervolcano that once reshaped this land with fire. The sea of sand that surrounds it, formed from volcanic ash and centuries of wind, a desert born from fire. The ground still hums with ancient heat. During a full moon, the ash plain glows silver, and the silence feels alive. It's not just a volcano. It's earth, breathing beneath your feet. Wadi Rum, Jordan. They call it the Valley of the Moon. Towering sandstone arches. Dunes that shift color with the sky. Here, the Earth looks like Mars, which is why Ridley Scott filmed The Martian here. But long before film crews arrived, ancient people left petroglyphs on the cliffs, some dating back 12,000 years. Wadi Rum was formed over 30 million years ago by tectonic uplift and erosion. Some of its sandstone is older than the Dead Sea itself. The mineral-rich soil and harsh climate make it an ideal stand-in for Mars, so much so, NASA uses it for robotic and astronaut training. Skip the day tours. Stay overnight in a Bedouin dome, and wake up to sunrise, when the desert turns gold and pink, that reveals its quiet magic. Palm Jumeirah, Atlantis, UAE. What if you could draw an island and make it real? Dubai did. Palm Jumeirah is an artificial archipelago shaped like a palm tree, built using GPS-guided dredging ships and 3 billion cubic feet of sand. Atlantis sits at its crown, a resort inspired by a lost world. The island is so large, it can be seen from space. But few know, no concrete was used in the sand foundation, just engineering and audacity. At night, its lights ripple like a digital city floating on water. This isn't science fiction. It's ambition turned to stone. Borobudur Temple, Indonesia. It rises like a mountain, but every inch is carved by hand. Built in the 9th century without cement, Borobudur holds over 500 Buddha statues and 2 million stones stacked to mirror the cosmos. The temple's design maps a spiritual journey, from desire, through learning, to nirvana. But here's the secret: during the equinox, the rising sun aligns perfectly behind the main stupa. Coincidence? Or cosmic calendar? Borobudur isn't just a temple. It's a diagram of the universe, chiseled into a hill. Perito Moreno Glacier, Argentina. Most glaciers are dying. This one grows. Perito Moreno is part of the vast southern Patagonian ice field, the third largest ice field in the world after Antarctica and Greenland, and a vital source of fresh water. It moves forward at a surprising rate of nearly 2 meters per day, pushing massive ice slabs into the milky blue waters of Lake Argentino. The collapses sound like thunder. The reason? Scientists think underground pressure balances melting with forward movement, but no one's fully sure. Want to hear Earth move? Come in summer. The ice doesn't just crack. It roars. Aiken Spring or Devil's Eye, China. In the middle of China's high-altitude Kaidam Basin, an alien eye stares back from the Earth. Aiken Spring, called the Devil's Eye, is a vivid red and blue geothermal spring unlike anything else on the Tibetan Plateau. Surrounded by a desolate salt plain, this bubbling eye is caused by mineral-rich waters bursting from deep underground. Iron and sulfur stain the earth in surreal hues, creating what looks like a portal to another world. Scientists believe the spring lies over a fault zone where geologic activity forces mineral-rich waters upward, making it one of the most active geothermal zones in northern China. It doesn't feel natural. It feels like a portal, as if the ground opened not by erosion, but by design. Petra, Jordan. In the heart of the Jordanian desert lies Petra, a city carved not by hands alone, but by vision. More than 2,000 years ago, the Nabateans etched temples, tombs, and corridors of stone, as if unlocking secrets written in the earth itself. The path winds through the sick, a shadowed canyon, until the treasury emerges. Al-Khazna. It doesn't look built. It looks summoned. A monument half ruin, half revelation. Petra was more than a city, a nexus of trade and power, sustained by water systems that defied the desert. Its monuments still align with the stars, as if built not just for worship, but for something greater. Earthquakes silenced it. Sands buried it. For centuries it lived in myth, until 1812, when Petra was rediscovered like a portal unlocked. Now Petra stands between worlds, half history, half legend. A rose-red enigma carved into eternity. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park, China. High above the misty forests of Hunan, nature built towers that seem to float, sandstone pillars rising like ancient gods from the green abyss. Zhangjiajie isn't just beautiful. It's otherworldly. This surreal landscape inspired the floating Hallelujah Mountains in James Cameron's movie Avatar. But what few people know is, these stone spires were formed over 300 million years ago, by ice, water, and tectonic uplift. Today, over 3,000 of these vertical columns pierce the skies, some towering more than 1,000 feet high. Locals believe these peaks are home to guardian spirits, and it's easy to see why. Walk the Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge, suspended between two cliffs, and you're not just walking in the clouds. In 1992, it was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but in truth, it feels like a portal to another dimension. Hengifoss, Iceland. Hengifoss isn't just tall, it's striped. At 128 meters, Hengifoss is one of the tallest waterfalls in Iceland. What makes Hengifoss extraordinary are the striking red strata in the cliff face. These red bands are layers of clay sandwiched between basalt lava, formed during volcanic eruptions millions of years ago. The hike feels like a passage through time. The crimson bands behind Hengifoss aren't just decoration, they are ancient soil and sediment, stained red by iron in the clay that has slowly oxidized over time. These fiery stripes tell the story of Iceland's birth, each layer marking a chapter between violent volcanic eruptions and long ages of cooling. It looks almost like the Earth's history has been sliced open and revealed in layers. The trek to Hengifoss often feels otherworldly: dark cliffs, streaks of crimson, the roar of water, and sweeping views over the valley. On misty days, it looks like a portal to another realm. The Grand Canyon, USA. In northern Arizona lies one of Earth's most awe-inspiring creations, the Grand Canyon. Carved by the Colorado River over 6 million years, this massive chasm stretches 277 miles and dives over a mile deep. Its walls expose nearly 2 billion years of geological history, a time capsule of Earth's ancient past. Some rocks here are older than complex life itself. It's more than just a canyon, it's one of the 7 natural wonders of the world and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But the Grand Canyon isn't frozen in time. It's still changing, still alive, shaped by wind, water, and tectonic uplift. Stand at the edge, and you're not just looking into a landscape, you're staring into the soul of the planet. Banff National Park, Canada. Deep within the ancient folds of the Canadian Rockies lies Banff, not just a national park, but a remnant of an alien Earth. A place where mountains wear glaciers like crowns. Banff is where jagged peaks rise above turquoise lakes so vibrant they look photoshopped, but it's all real. The color comes from glacial silt suspended in the water, scattering sunlight into surreal blues. What many people don't realize is that this dramatic landscape was once the floor of an ancient sea, later uplifted by powerful tectonic forces to form the Canadian Rockies. Beyond the tourist trails lie secret caves, steaming hot springs, and canyon walls marked with indigenous pictographs, silent witnesses to centuries past. Banff isn't just beautiful. It's a living storybook of Earth's wild history. Fagradalsfjall Volcano, Iceland. In 2021, the Earth opened its mouth here. Fagradalsfjall erupted after 800 years of silence, spilling fire over Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula. But what shocks geologists, it wasn't a one-off. The area may be entering a new volcanic era, with more eruptions expected. Hike the lava fields, and the ground still steams, warm to the touch. The black rock is so fresh it glistens. This is Earth mid-creation, a front-row seat to geology in motion. Some visitors say the landscape feels otherworldly, like Mars freshly born. With every eruption, the volcano reshapes reality, forging alien lava plains, breathing steam through fractured earth, and birthing glowing craters like portals to a molten underworld. It's not just geology, it's planetary transformation in real time. Colosseum, Italy. The Colosseum isn't just crumbling stone, it's a living blueprint of ancient Roman engineering and ambition. Shaped like an oval bowl, this massive amphitheater stretches over 180 meters long and 50 meters tall. Tiered seating rows in careful layers, designed to hold 50,000 spectators with precision, while its underground hypogeum, a two-level network of tunnels and chambers, functioned like a backstage labyrinth. Here, animals and fighters emerged from hidden lifts and trapdoors to meet their fate. It wasn't just a place of spectacle, it was an architectural marvel where stone, wood, and iron conspired to entertain an empire. Today, its walls still whisper of ingenuity, spectacle, and survival. The Old Man of Storr, Scotland. Jutting out from the rugged Isle of Skye, the Old Man of Storr stands like a monument to both myth and time. According to legend, he's a giant petrified in flight from divine fury, but geologists say he was sculpted by volcanic forces and landslides some 60 million years ago. Towering above velvet green hills and mist-laced lochs, his presence feels otherworldly. At dawn, when golden light spills across the land, the scene transforms into something between a memory and a dream, a place where Earth's ancient fire and Celtic legend still whisper together. Navagio Beach, Greece. Tucked within towering limestone cliffs on the island of Zakynthos, there's a beach so remote, it can only be reached by boat. Navagio, or Shipwreck Beach, is a crescent of pure white sand, surrounded by turquoise waters that look too vivid to be real. At its center lies the rusted skeleton of a shipwrecked smuggler's boat stranded here since the 1980s. But what truly takes your breath away is the contrast: sky-high cliffs that drop straight into electric blue water, and waves that glow like neon under the sun. Here's a wild fact: the beach was unknowingly formed by landslides from the surrounding cliffs, which created this hidden cove over time. Locals say the cliffs still shift. This paradise is alive and always changing. The Pyramids of Giza, Egypt. On the edge of Cairo's shifting sands, 3 colossal pyramids rise from the desert like an ancient transmission frozen in stone. Built over 4,500 years ago, they remain one of the greatest mysteries on Earth. The Great Pyramid is aligned to true north with astonishing precision, more accurate than many modern buildings. Engineers, archaeologists, even astronomers are still baffled. And despite the desert heat, its inner chambers stay at a constant 20 degrees Celsius. The granite used inside was hauled from 500 miles away, without wheels, cranes, or modern tools. Some believe the layout reflects Orion's belt. Others think they were designed to guide souls to the stars. Were they tombs, temples, or something far more advanced? From above, they resemble a coated grid, as if Giza was once part of a forgotten technology. Stand before them, and you don't just see stone. You feel a message, buried in silence. Danakil Depression, Ethiopia. In the far reaches of northeastern Ethiopia lies a place so extreme, it feels like a gateway to another planet. The Danakil Depression is one of the hottest, driest, and lowest places on Earth, sitting over 100 meters below sea level, where daytime temperatures often soar past 50 degrees Celsius. But it's not the heat that stuns you. It's the colors. Boiling acid pools shimmer in neon green, sulfur mounds glow yellow, and mineral crusts crack underfoot like the surface of some alien moon. This is one of the only places on Earth where life thrives without sunlight. Deep underground, microbes feed on salt and minerals, challenging everything we know about biology. Scientists even use this place to simulate Mars missions, because if life can survive here, it might survive out there. Stand here, and it's not just the Earth that feels unfamiliar, it's reality itself. Faroe Islands, North Atlantic. Floating like a forgotten world between Iceland and Norway, the Faroe Islands are 18 volcanic islands sculpted by wind, waves, and ancient storms. Here, sheer sea cliffs rise like green fortresses, wrapped in mist and mystery. Waterfalls plunge straight into the ocean. But what truly sets the Faroes apart is how alive they feel. As if the islands themselves are watching. These cliffs are alive with millions of seabirds, puffins, fulmars, kittiwakes, turning the summer skies into a living cathedral of wings and echoes. And then there's Lake Sorvagsvatn, the lake that appears to float above the sea, an illusion only possible because of towering cliffs and perfect perspective. Geologists say these islands formed over 55 million years ago, part of an ancient volcanic plateau hidden beneath the ocean. Faroese legends say trolls and giants carved these cliffs. With wind screaming and birds wheeling above, it feels less like a story, and more like they're still here. Sigiriya, Sri Lanka. Rising nearly 200 meters from the jungle canopy, Sigiriya looks less like a fortress and more like a monument left by another world. Its vertical walls hold fading frescoes of celestial women, water gardens designed with advanced hydraulic engineering, and a mirror wall once polished so perfectly that a king could see his own reflection in it. Built in the 5th century by King Kasyapa as a sky palace guarded by a lion-shaped gateway, Sigiriya hides an older secret. Settlements here date back more than 2,000 years before him. Was Sigiriya just a royal citadel? A monastery? Or something far older, perhaps a sacred axis connecting earth and sky? Stand at the summit at sunrise, and the jungle below looks endless, mist swirling like ancient breath. In that silence, you feel it. This isn't just stone. It's a question carved into the heart of Sri Lanka. Arches National Park, USA. In the heart of Utah's desert, stone rises like frozen waves. Over 2,000 natural arches curve against the sky, sculpted by 300 million years of wind, rain, and time. The most famous, delicate arch, frames sunsets like a gateway to another world. Geologists say these formations began as a vast salt bed, buried beneath layers of sandstone, slowly eroded into today's gravity-defying shapes. But when you stand beneath one, it feels less like erosion and more like intention, like nature carved its own temples. To the ancestral Puebloans, these arches weren't just rocks. They were doorways, thresholds between the physical world and the spirit realm. Walk through them at dusk, when shadows stretch and the desert glows red, and you might feel it too, the land watching, ancient and alive. Rainbow Mountain, Vinicunca, Peru. In the thin air of the Andes, a mountain rises that looks almost impossible, its surface streaked with red, gold, turquoise, and violet, like the planet itself decided to reveal hidden codes. These colors aren't paint. They are ancient minerals, iron, copper, sulfur, pressed together over millions of years. Yet for most of history, no one knew they were here. They were sealed beneath glaciers, invisible. Until the ice suddenly melted, as if the earth had chosen this moment to uncover them. Locals call it Vinicunca, the mountain of 7 colors, and believe each stripe carries a spirit, earth, water, sun, and sky woven into stone. Travelers say its hues shift with light and storm. Almost like it's watching, responding. Scientists measure its chemistry. Some say Vinicunca isn't just a mountain but a dormant entity, its colors a pulse, its silence a warning. Up here, at over 5,000 meters, sound falls away. The horizon curves strangely, and the land feels less like Peru. And more like another planet waiting to be understood. Great Barrier Reef, Australia. It isn't just a reef, it's a colossal living network, 2,900 individual structures linked into one organism that stretches over 2,300 kilometers, vast enough to be seen from space. Beneath the surface, it feels almost sentient, an ancient, alien metropolis of coral towers, hidden caverns, and creatures found nowhere else on Earth. For millions of years, it has grown, adapted, and survived, acting as a biological memory of our planet's past. But now, this living giant faces a quiet war. Rising seas and relentless heat strip away its brilliant colors, leaving bleached remains that look like ghostly skeletons glowing in the blue, like the ocean itself is erasing its own history. Scientists are creating supercorals, hybrids built to survive what nature no longer can. It's not just conservation, it feels like humanity is rewriting the code of an organism older than us, a rescue that could also reshape life in the ocean itself. Pamukkale, Turkey. Pamukkale, located in southwestern Turkey, is one of the world's most unique geological formations, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This cotton castle is a natural wonder formed over 14,000 years as calcium-rich thermal springs have flowed down this hillside, leaving behind layers of shimmering travertine, terraces that catch the sky in pools of soft, turquoise blue. It doesn't look natural. From afar, Pamukkale glows under the sun like the ruins of a city made of crystal, too perfect, too deliberate. Legend says the gods built these white steps so mortals could climb toward the heavens. The water stays warm year-round, a natural phenomenon that drew ancient civilizations here to build Hierapolis, a city of healing and ritual, right atop these mineral cliffs. Each step feels like stepping into a living painting, fragile, eternal, and almost too beautiful to be real. Bryce Canyon, USA. Not a canyon, but an amphitheater of flame. Bryce Canyon National Park in Utah is famous for its hoodoos, tall, thin spires of rock formed over millions of years by frost wedging and erosion. But they look like something else, monuments left by a vanished civilization or sentinels turned to stone. According to Paiute legend, these were once beings who angered the gods and were petrified forever. These structures are made of sedimentary layers, each telling a chapter of ancient seas, rivers, and deserts. With elevations ranging from 8,000 to 9,000 feet, the park experiences dramatic temperature shifts that continue to shape its landscape even today. Standing at the rim, you feel small yet connected, as if the earth itself is showing you a masterpiece sculpted not for humans, but for time. Diamond Beach, Iceland. It looks like the edge of a dream, or the remnants of a shattered galaxy. Scattered across jet-black volcanic sands like glistening icebergs, carved from ancient glaciers and polished by the tide until they gleam like crystal relics. They don't just reflect sunlight. They seem to hold it. This is Diamond Beach. Born from the Great Vatnajökull Glacier, these icebergs break off into Jökulsárlón Ice Lagoon and drift slowly out to sea, only to be returned, reshaped by the waves, and stranded like ghost ships of ice. Trapped for centuries in ancient ice, now melting in minutes, Diamond Beach is a living warning, where black sand and crystal ice tell a tale of climate, collapse, and rebirth. Standing here feels less like Earth, and more like a shoreline between worlds, where time fractures, where nature speaks in crystal. Zhangjiajie or Detien Falls, Vietnam/China border. Straddling the international border between Vietnam and China, Zhangjiajie, Detien Falls is one of Asia's largest and most scenic transnational waterfalls. In ancient legend, it wasn't just a boundary between nations, it was a gateway between realms. The falls stretch over 200 meters wide, cascading down in 3 tiers, fed by the Kwe Sun River, a waterway that peacefully winds between rice paddies and karst mountains. The geology here is dominated by limestone formations, typical of Southeast Asia's karst landscapes. While it's a popular tourist destination, it's also a symbol of natural diplomacy, a site jointly shared, protected, and celebrated by both countries. But here's the question, is this waterfall a division? Or a convergence? A line drawn by maps, or a pulse shared by both sides? Stand before it, and you'll feel it, a force older than nations, whispering through the mist like a forgotten prophecy. Chocolate Hills, Philippines. They rise like ancient whispers in the dawn mist. Located in the heart of Bohol, the Chocolate Hills are a geological wonder, over 1,200 symmetrical mounds, sprinkled across the island of Bohol, turning brown under the summer sun. Hence the name, Chocolate Hills. But these aren't made of cocoa. They're limestone remnants, sculpted by rain and time, rising up to 400 feet tall, perfectly shaped, eerily uniform. They were once part of an ancient coral reef, uplifted by tectonic forces and eroded by centuries of rain. No other formation like it exists on Earth, making it one of the most unique natural landscapes in Southeast Asia. Some say the hills are tears of a heartbroken giant. mourning a lost love. Others believe they were the battleground of ancient gods, throwing rocks in fury until the earth herself sighed and sealed their war in stone. These hills carry no trees, no rivers, only silence and symmetry. As if nature encrypted a secret message into the land, and never gave us the key. Stand among them, and you may feel it, that quiet hum in the bones. As though the earth remembers something we've long forgotten. Death Valley, USA. This is not just the hottest place on Earth. It's a landscape that looks borrowed from another planet. Death Valley scorches under the sun at over 56.7 degrees Celsius, a record set in 1913. It lies below sea level, in the Mojave Desert, and features salt flats, dunes, volcanic craters, and ghost towns. Dunes stretch like sleeping titans. Salt plains shimmer like shattered mirrors. One of its strangest features. The sailing stones of racetrack playa, boulders that mysteriously glide across dry lake beds, leaving long trails behind them. Only recently did scientists confirm a rare combination of ice, water, and wind as the cause. Yet despite the science, Death Valley remains a place where Earth's extremes are on full display, harsh, unforgiving, and deeply fascinating. This is a place where logic fades. Where rocks move when no one is watching. And heat warps the air like a mirage within a mirage. Here, beauty isn't soft. It's brutal. And breathtaking. Whitehaven Beach, Australia. Located in the heart of Queensland's Whitsunday Islands, Whitehaven Beach is often called one of the purest stretches of sand on Earth. Its powder white beauty comes from a remarkable composition, 98.9% pure silica, giving it a soft, velvety texture unlike any other. The sand doesn't retain heat, so it remains cool underfoot, even under the blazing Australian sun. Tides swirl white sand through turquoise waters, painting ever-changing patterns visible even from the sky. They say the sand here isn't just ancient, it's enchanted. Too pure for coral to cling. Too still for animals to nest. Here's a fact few people know. NASA once used Whitehaven silica sand to craft precision lenses. That's how pure it is. But this place holds more than beauty. According to Aboriginal Ngero legends, these islands are sacred. Whitehaven was believed to be a celestial path, where sky spirits descended to meet the sea. Zhangjiajie Canyon, Iceland. Hidden in the wild heart of East Iceland, there lies a gorge that seems carved not by erosion, but by imagination. Zhangjiajie Canyon, a surreal corridor of basalt columns rising like organ pipes from an emerald river. Each pillar stands in perfect formation, like ancient guardians frozen in volcanic prayer. For centuries, this canyon lay hidden beneath the Jokla River's torrent. Only after its waters were diverted in 2009, that this secret world was revealed, a natural cathedral of stone and silence. Formed over millions of years by cooling lava, the basalt columns here are among the most dramatic in the world. But their symmetry feels intentional, too precise, too sacred. Born of fire, carved by ice, this canyon still breathes with the Earth's ancient soul. The Wave, Arizona, USA. It looks like a dream carved in stone, a wave frozen mid-motion, painted in fire and light. This is the Wave, hidden deep within Coyote Buttes on the Arizona-Utah border. Sculpted from 190-million-year-old Navajo sandstone, its flowing curves were formed by ancient wind and rain, shaping petrified dunes into a natural masterpiece. The red and gold layers ripple under the sun, changing with every step, every shadow, a place where time folds into color. The Wave allows only 20 people a day to visit, a sacred portal where earth whispers, stone remembers, and the land itself chooses who may enter. Machu Picchu, Peru. High in the Andes Mountains, where the clouds drift like whispers and the cliffs fall into green abyss, lies Machu Picchu, a forgotten city carved into stone and sky. Built in the 15th century by the Inca Emperor Pachacuti, this hidden sanctuary wasn't a fortress or a city, it was a sanctuary, where astronomy, spirituality, and architecture merged in perfect harmony. Each stone is cut with impossible precision, dry fit without mortar, yet still standing after centuries of storms and earthquakes. Carved in stone, aligned with the sun, lost for centuries, now a world treasure. But even now, it keeps its secrets. Was it a royal retreat? A cosmic observatory? Or a message etched in stone for future eyes? Machu Picchu is not just a city, but a celestial blueprint, carved as if by another world. Nusa Penida, Indonesia. Off the coast of Bali, across waters that shimmer like molten sapphire, rises Nusa Penida, wild, remote, and otherworldly. Here, jagged limestone cliffs dive into turquoise seas, and nature carves wonders like Kalinking Beach, shaped like a giant T-Rex watching over the ocean. Below, coral reefs bloom with marine life. This island is raw beauty, but also deeply spiritual. At the edge of Nusa Penida's cliffs lies Broken Beach, a collapsed sea cave that formed a perfect circular cove, with a natural stone arch bridging over turquoise water. No boats enter. No waves crash. Only the tide swirls quietly in this hidden sanctuary. Geologically, it's the result of erosion. The locals say the island hides an ancient power, restless, watching, alive. Nusa Penida is less an island, more a gateway written into the fabric of the cosmos. Avenue of the Baobabs, Madagascar. They rise like ancient guardians on a dusty road in western Madagascar, baobabs, towering and still, as if frozen mid-step on their journey across time. This is the Avenue of the Baobabs, a natural monument unlike any other. Here, some trees are over 800 years old, reaching nearly 100 feet high, with trunks as wide as small houses. They belong to the species Adansonia grandadiri, the tallest of Madagascar's 6 native baobab types. Their swollen trunks store water, up to 32,000 gallons, allowing them to thrive in the island's dry climate. But it's not just biology. It's presence. Standing among them feels like stepping inside a forgotten legend. Dolomites, Italy. Rising like frozen waves, jagged, pale, impossibly still. This is the Dolomites, a mountain range in northern Italy, where nature carved cathedrals long before man ever built one. By light, they glow in shades of ivory, gold, and flame, a phenomenon called enrosadira, when the sun sets their limestone peaks ablaze in pink and crimson. Geologically, these are fossilized coral reefs, once submerged in a prehistoric sea over 250 million years ago. Today, they tower above alpine meadows, glacial lakes, and pine forests, part of the Southern Limestone Alps, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. To wander here is to feel small, yet strangely eternal. Lofoten Islands, Norway. In Norway's far north, beyond the Arctic Circle, the Lofoten Islands emerge like a vision. Jagged peaks erupting from frozen fjords, red villages clinging to silence, and skies caught in eternal twilight, as if the world here has forgotten how to choose between night and day. Here, nature contradicts itself, snow-capped peaks above golden beaches, winters glowing with auroras, and summers burning in the endless light of the midnight sun. Geographically, the Lofoten archipelago is part of the Norwegian Sea, shaped by tectonic forces and carved by glaciers. Despite its Arctic latitude, the North Atlantic drift brings a mild climate, sustaining wildlife and fishing villages for centuries. In Norse legend, giants and sea spirits roamed these isles. Locals spoke of trolls in the mountains, and souls dancing in the northern lights. Lofoten Islands is less a place, more a living saga. Iguazu Falls, Argentina/Brazil. It begins as a whisper, then rises into a roar that shakes the jungle and splits the sky. This is Iguazu Falls, one of the most powerful and mesmerizing natural wonders on Earth. Straddling the border of Argentina and Brazil, this cascade system stretches nearly 3 kilometers wide, with 275 individual waterfalls plunging into the Iguazu River below. At its heart lies the Devil's Throat, a U-shaped abyss where torrents plunge 80 meters, shrouded in mist and echoing like a voice from the underworld. Formed by a volcanic eruption millions of years ago, the falls lie within a UNESCO World Heritage Site, surrounded by lush subtropical rainforest that shelters toucans, jaguars, and howler monkeys. Iguazu is not a waterfall, it is the earth exhaling. Nazca Lines, Peru. Across the deserts of southern Peru, massive shapes stretch across the earth. Hummingbirds, monkeys, spirals, and lines so vast, they can only be seen from the sky. These are the Nazca Lines, created over 1,500 years ago by the Nazca civilization, carved into the ground by removing dark stones to reveal the pale soil beneath. Some are over 1,000 feet long, perfectly preserved by the dry desert air. But their purpose remains a mystery. Were they astronomical calendars? Offerings to sky gods? Or something stranger, a message to beings not of this world? Whatever they were, they still speak. In silence. In geometry. In a language written not in ink, but in earth. Soka River, Slovenia. Born in the heart of the Julian Alps, the Soka River winds its way through Slovenia in dazzling shades of emerald and ice. Its color is no illusion, it comes from glacial minerals and pale limestone, creating waters so clear, they seem lit from within. Stretching 138 kilometers, it carves through gorges, forests, and valleys, a ribbon of light in a rugged land. The Soka is more than beauty. In the world wars it ran red with blood, now it flows in silence, a refuge for wanderers and dreamers. Locals whisper of fairies who bathe here, of spirits that follow the current. They say the river remembers. Here, the water flows not through land, but through time itself. Hutt Lagoon, Australia. On the rugged coast of Western Australia, between desert sands and endless sea, a surreal vision appears, a lake with color of cherry blossoms and cotton candy skies. This is Hut Lagoon, a lake so vividly pink it feels unreal. Its color comes from Dunaliella salina, a tiny algae thriving in salt-rich waters, producing beta-carotene, the same pigment that gives carrots their orange glow and flamingos their blush. Depending on season, sunlight, and salinity, Hut Lagoon transforms, from pale rose to bubblegum to deep magenta. Yet beyond the science, it feels like a mirage. A forgotten realm from another world. To the local Nanda people, this is sacred land, a place of stories and spirit. Some say the lake reflects not just the sky, but emotion. That its color deepens with longing, memory, or change in the wind. It's not just a lake. It's the earth, blushing under a dreaming sun. Faroe, Iceland. At the foot of empty Navagio in northern Iceland, the ground comes alive, steaming, bubbling, and whispering secrets from the deep. This is Faroe, a geothermal field like no other. The bubbling mud pots and steaming fumaroles are rich in sulfur, giving off a pungent rotten egg smell. But this smell is actually the scent of volcanic gases escaping from deep inside the earth. Beneath your feet lies a fractured world, one of the most geothermally active areas in Iceland, formed by the collision of tectonic plates. The ground is stained with surreal colors, yellow, red, orange, and gray, caused by sulfur, iron, and other minerals. But the soil here is so acidic and unstable that no plants or life forms can survive. But this is more than geology. To ancient Icelanders, Faroe was a gateway to the underworld, places where the earth itself breathed. It's not just a landscape, it's a living force. Unpredictable, untamed, unapologetically alive. To stand here is to witness Earth not as scenery, but as creature. Dead Sea, Jordan. Framed by golden cliffs and ancient silence, the Dead Sea lies still, a shimmering mirror at the lowest point on Earth, over 430 meters below sea level. But despite its name, this place pulses with paradox. The water is nearly 10 times salter than the ocean, so dense you can float effortlessly, suspended between gravity and sky. The sea's salinity prevents life, no fish, no plants. Alongside the shore, salt takes alien form, chimneys, mushrooms, and crystal honeycombs, sculpted like relics from another world. For millennia, people have come seeking more than beauty. Its mud heals the skin, its air heals the breath, higher oxygen, softer sunlight. A climate where time itself slows. Even doctors call it therapy. Geologically, it's a rift valley, formed by the separation of two tectonic plates. And it's disappearing fast, shrinking every year due to water diversion and climate change. To float here is to feel the earth pause, weightless, wordless, and impossibly still. Grand Prismatic Spring, Yellowstone, USA. From above, it looks unreal, a giant eye of fire and water, glowing with rings of blue, green, yellow, and red. This is the Grand Prismatic Spring, the largest hot spring in the United States and the third largest in the world. Located in Yellowstone National Park, it spans over 370 feet wide and plunges more than 120 feet deep, a natural caldera born from the supervolcano that sleeps beneath this land. Its vivid colors come from thermophiles, heat-loving microbes that thrive in extreme temperatures. Different species bloom at different heat levels, painting the spring in living rainbows. But this isn't just chemistry. It's cosmic. Some of the microbes here are among the oldest life forms on Earth, similar to those that may have thrived billions of years ago. NASA even studies them as analogs for possible extraterrestrial life. Some Native American tribes viewed this spring as a sacred gateway, a place where the earth spoke in steam, color, and silence. The steam that rises carries tiny crystals and gases, creating an atmosphere almost like another planet. Stand near it, and you feel it, the heat, the hum, the breath of something vast and unseen beneath your feet. It's not just water. It's the Earth's eye dot, and it's wide open. Muat Sang Chai Rice Terraces, Vietnam. In the highlands of northern Vietnam, the hills don robes of green and gold, layered like waves, carved by hand, shaped by time. This is Muat Sang Chai, home to some of the most breathtaking rice terraces on Earth. Created by the Hmong people over centuries, these steps follow the shape of the land, turning mountainsides into living sculptures. Beyond their beauty lies deep knowledge, an ancient form of sustainable farming, balancing water, earth, and elevation with remarkable precision. Each terrace is a story of survival, tradition, and quiet mastery. But there's something else here. Something older than agriculture. Locals believe the terraces link earth to spirit, each curve holding ancestral memory, shaped by unseen hands. To walk among them is to feel part of a larger pattern, drawn by sun, shaped by rain, and held in the silence between seasons. Great Wall of China. It winds like a dragon over mountains and deserts, vanishing into mist and time. This is the Great Wall of China, not just a wall, but a living scar across the Earth's surface, stretching over 21,000 kilometers. Built across centuries by dynasties and laborers, its stones were laid with bare hands, sweat, and sacrifice. Originally constructed to defend against northern invaders, the wall became a symbol of endurance, unity, and isolation. Built of earth and stone, it holds stories stronger than steel, whispers of soldiers, emperors, and ghosts drifting through its towers. Some say the gods drew its path, a celestial dragon carved into the land. Others believe the wall listens, its cracks whispering voices of the past. To walk it is to walk through centuries, each step heavy with history, each shadow echoing a lost empire. This isn't just a wall. It's a sleeping giant, still watching. We call it Earth, but what if this planet is far stranger than we ever imagined? Where rivers glow like fire, mountains whisper through the mist, and ancient hands carved wonders into stone long before history began. These aren't just destinations, they're clues. Traces of time, mystery, and forces we barely understand. And just when you think you've seen it all, the Earth reveals another secret. Another marvel. So keep your eyes open. Keep wondering. Because the greatest wonder of Earth is that it never stops surprising us.